I have been recording for, well, since I was 17, and I am 36 now. I currently run my own studio as well as working for FX Expansion, but I've always had, I suppose, an interest in drums above any other instrument. I just find them exciting, they're loud. I think it's probably the main thing I like about them, they're loud, and I think I like loud things. And it's just a challenging instrument to record, and so many people have so many ideas about the way it should be done and what constitutes a good drum sound, and I just think it's one of those instruments that you can spend a lifetime recording and never get the same sound twice, and never really ever satisfied. You can always sort of move, go somewhere else with it. So I think that's why I like drums so much, because that's just a challenge. Air, I chose Air for quite a few reasons. One, I've been here before and I know the facility. It's got a fantastic live room. It's got a good history. The people are great. The rooms sound good. The control room's excellent. And more importantly, really, for what we're doing here, is it's got an excellent desk. It's a very unique console. There's only one left in the world. There was 3 made originally. It's a Neve custom. I do believe Jeff Emerick, who was the Beatles engineer, had a lot to do with the input on the design of the console. And George Martin, I do believe, had quite a lot of input into choosing things like the frequency selection, the EQs and that sort of thing. It's a very musical console. It's not modern by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just a very good, solid sounding desk. The drummers, we have 2 drummers in this session. There's a chap called Emre Ramazanoglu. Emre approached us initially, interested in getting involved in BFD in some way, and he's a fantastic drummer.
How high can you count as a drummer? What is the maximum that you can count?
Count to 4. It's perfect being a drummer.
Okay.
Wasn't it 90 today?
3 more 2. 7, 8's good as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1.
And a very good engineer as well in his own right. He does a lot of work with some interesting people, so he's great to have on board because he knows both sides of the desk, as it were. You know, he can sit in front of it as a performer, and he also knows what's going on behind, so he's not really fazed by the whole process.
Not jaded.
But Emre unfortunately could only do 5 days with us because he had other commitments, and Darren very kindly stepped in and has done a sterling job, and I think it's going to benefit because he has quite a different style. Emre doesn't hit the drums very hard, as he says it, tone over volume, and Darren is a bit more of a rocker, I suppose. So we've kind of angled some of the kits and the cymbals around that. Some of the smaller, more delicate stuff we've had Emre play, and some of the bigger, heavier cymbals and heavier rides, which sort of can take a bit of a thrashing, we've had Darren play. So I think it's worked out quite nicely because there's a couple of different sorts of sounds there. Microphones, we have a lot. There's a D112. I've got a 57, a Neumann KM84, Electro Voice RE20, a Neumann FET 47, a CAD VX2. Direct cymbal channels are also KM84s, a 421, a pair of Manley references, a pair of Coles 4038s, which are a ribbon microphone, a pair of original C12 AKGs, and a pair of Sony C800s. Drums wise, there's 11 kits, that's kicks and tom sets, 19 snares, all of those cymbals, 9 hi-hats I do believe we've got them at the moment.
And to see all of those snares and all of those kits in one room at one time is pretty full on. I think you know, a lot of the guys that have been popping into Studio One, even the regular crew around here, have been like, whoa, you guys really are doing a lot of drums.
We have one of Ringo Starr's Black Oyster Ludwigs, as played by him, which is rather nice to get hold of. We also have a Spiral Vistalite that used to belong to John Bonham. We also have matched that with a full set of pasty cymbals, which he used to play, so there's quite an authentic sound there. We have a Pork Pie kit, we have a DW Master Series kit, we have a Pearl Custom kit, we have a Pearl Masterworks kit, we have an Orange County kit, we have a Tamboro kit, we have a Rogers kit. Oh, there's a Gretsch kit, a round badge, old Gretsch, which is lovely, lovely drum. The cymbals, of which there's 3 chinas of various sizes, including one with rivets. There's 3 splashes, 9 ride cymbals, comprising flats and ones with bells, and at the moment there's 10 normal cymbals. Snares, we've got birch, mahogany, brass, we've got the Zildjian cymbal brass snare, we've got aluminium snares, there's piccolos, there's vented snares, there's a whole range. I've kind of made an effort to get a nice selection of damped drums, using O-rings or moon gel or a bit of gaffer tape, and some really ringy snares, and we've also experimented a lot with different tunings, so we've got some loose deep drums and some very pingy drums, so hopefully a very wide selection of snares which is going to cover a whole range of different styles of music, including a lot of sort of dance sort of stuff, jungle and drum and bass and that type of thing. Some of the more high-pitched tuned snares will be very suitable for, so not just sort of rock or that type of thing, hopefully a real sort of something for everybody range of sounds.
Dog top!
But the process, basically set up the kit like you would a normal kit, mic it all up as you would the normal kit, go into the control room, set all the levels, and I tend to record, I don't record everything loud. All the levels onto Pro Tools are sent at a natural level for the drum kit. That way when you play back the kit with all your faders at 0 dB, as there will be in BFD, it just sounds like the drum was there. Okay, and we are rolling. Once you've done that, it's just a case of hitting record, and the drummer sits there very patiently and hits the drum as hard as he can and continues to hit it once the drums and the room noise has all died away, the reverb and the overtones have all vanished, hits it again at a slightly lower level and then does it all the way down. It's a very unnatural process for the drummer. They're not used to sort of doing that sort of thing. Drummers like to make noise and hit drums quickly and have fun, and it's quite tedious. It's you know, it's and you see it on their faces as they get really bored. And now it's quite difficult for the drummer to get the levels precise. There isn't, it's not a machine. So the way I've run it is basically we do it in sets of 10. So we do 10 hits, loud, quiet, loud, quiet. And the idea is that because there's natural variation between each bank of 10, by the time you've sliced all those up into all their bits and ordered them into the right velocity layer, you get a nice smooth curve. It's very exacting. When you're, especially with the cymbals have very long tails, which can go on upwards for, especially with some of the larger rides, 2.5 minutes if you really let them ring out. A cymbal takes about an hour to put onto to record. When you've got what, 25, 30 cymbals, you can appreciate that that's quite a long time sitting there waiting for the tails. And of course, if the drummer creaks or the stand creaks or the chair creaks or there's a fly, we've had flies in the room.
We've found a bug in BFD2 and we're going to take him out. It's hard work catching those guys.
So every time little things like that happen when you're recording cymbals, you really get slightly frustrating. Once you've done all of the recording, it all has to be edited, and it's all kept multi-channel obviously, and we have to go through and slice every single drum hit up. So we look for where the initial transient of the drum is and we edit there, and then you put a little fade at the end just before the next hit. Then you order all the velocity layers, and that all then goes into a piece of software called BFD Congeal, which stitches all the files together into one large monolithic file, which is then the file that BFD uses to play back the audio.
Fuck, we need to go right now, otherwise there'll be no pints for us. That's it.
Priorities.
Pints time.
Oh God.
It's 10:40.
Priorities.
It's been a hard day taking photographs. We've got to, you know, the hard work is here, we need a drink. That's it. Finito.